In this video, we'll show you how to perform winding resistance test on a power transformer using the ALLINA T1. After powering on the device, entering the required power transformer details through the Manager section, we proceed to set up the test parameters. For this, navigate to the Power Transformer Test menu and select the Winding Resistance Test option. From the External Module option, you can specify whether the test will be performed with or without the TEM1 module. From the Winding section, you can specify whether the test is being performed on the HV or LV side of the transformer. In the Vector Group section, you can view or modify the transformer's vector group based on the information entered in Manager. The test wiring diagram will automatically update according to the selected vector group. Use the Phase section to select which phase of the winding the test is being conducted on. In the Output Channel section, you can select the device's output type for the test. Options include a DC current output, 0 to 10 amps, a DC voltage output, 0 to 110 volts, or DC current injection, 10 to 400 amps. For my test, you can select the appropriate current for injection. Using the Test Mode option, selecting Automatic allows the device to automatically switch taps and record the results, which requires additional wiring from the device's binary output. In Manual mode, the user must manually change the tap and record the results. Assuming Manual is selected, you then need to select the desired tap to start the test. The Tap Changer Direction option allows you to select the direction for changing the tap changer. With the Consider Direction in Graph option, you can decide whether the direction of the tap changer movement, up or down, should be considered in the graph showing resistance variation with tap position. Also, choose the conductor material, copper or aluminum, and enter the winding temperature along with the reference temperature. These values allow the software to calculate the correction factor automatically, so your results can be compared with previous or reference tests. When the test mode is set to automatic, several additional parameters need to be configured by the user. The first step is selecting the number of taps that the device should test. Following this, the user must specify the tap time, which is the time required for the transformer's tap changing process to complete, usually ranging between 3 to 10 seconds. The tap impulse time must also be set, representing the duration for which the device's digital output remains active to initiate the tap change. This value is typically a few hundred milliseconds. Next, the acceptable deviation needs to be defined, which indicates the permissible percentage variation or fluctuation in measurements. Commonly, this value lies between 0.5% and 1%. Finally, the settling time must be determined, specifying the minimum duration the device should wait to allow the resistance measurement to stabilize. This ensures that the deviation falls below the acceptable threshold defined by the user. Once the test settings are complete, click the Run icon. After the test, the final results are divided into two main sections, a table and a graph. In the table, you can view details such as the tap changer movement direction, tap number, phase, winding side, injected current value, winding resistance at the current temperature, winding resistance at the reference temperature, deviation value, ripple value, indicating the continuity accuracy of the tap changer, and variation value, representing the maximum allowable difference between phases. If the variation value is below 3%, the device automatically displays the test status as Pass in the Assessment section. In the Graph section, the user can view the plot of the measured resistance for each tap and phase. Additionally, the variation graph is also available for observation. Here are some important tips. For power transformers with a high rated power, low nominal voltage and winding resistance of less than 10 milliohms, the 400 amps DC output current should be used for performing the winding resistance test. Initially, the test can be conducted using the 260 volts DC output voltage. If the measured resistance is less than 10 milliohms, the test should be repeated with the 400 amps DC output to improve measurement accuracy. If the user wants to measure the resistance of each phase once with the tap changer moving upward and once downward, the option Consider Direction in Graph should be set to Yes. However, if, for instance, one phase is measured in the upward direction and another in the downward direction, and the values need to overlap for a particular tap in the graph, the option should be set to No. After completing the test, you must wait for the transformer to fully discharge. Following the winding resistance test, the core will have residual flux. Therefore, it is essential to demagnetize the core after this test.